وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد صلاة تخرجنا بها من ظلمات الوهم وتكرمنا بها بنور الفهم وتوضح عنا ما أشكله وتوضح بها عنا ما أشكال حتى يفهم أنك تعلم ولا نعلم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله السميع العليم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله السميع العليم. باب في بيان الحيض إن تمادى دم فوق العادة. الله أعلم. الحيض Babu, here it didn't say bayan, but it's important because that's the first part that we're going to do. Bab is a section. We used to say bab literally means the door. And why do they use bab? Because door is what? Is to get, if you're inside, you use it to get outside, and if you're outside, you use it to get inside. Meaning that we're in another section now. We're going to another room in the whole building of Salat or building of Tahara, or the whole flat, or the whole apartment. So we are going to another room now. So we're entering through the door. And what does this door lead us to? Bayan al-haid. What do we mean by haid? It's very important. Some of you say haid means menstruation. But does it really mean that? In our tradition, what are we referring to? And because these are simple things. If I'm called to give a lecture now, and I said the definition of menstruation is this, and someone is looking at me like, you want to teach us that? Yes, I will teach you that, because we have our own lingo in our Islamic tradition. So, bayanul haid, what is haid? Wa bayanul nifas, what do we mean by nifas? Wa ma yamna'ul hadath. Being in that state, what does it prevent us from doing? That is what we're looking at. Al-haidu damun. Al-haidu damun. What we call haid, what we refer to as haid, damun, number one attribute, is the blood. In anwa'id dumura. In anwa'id dam. Right?
Yep. It's a kind of blood. Okay.
Blood. Damun is blood. But why did he say damun? How do we define blood? Here is trying to accentuate the physical characteristics of blood. And out of the physical characteristics of blood, is looking at the color specifically, to be very specific. So how do you know it is haid? Dam means blood, but if you tell a small kid what color of red is that, the first thing that comes to his mind is blood. That is the most natural red thing that you have in nature. So he's saying it's red. So there are three forms in which we can identify haid. One of it is to come as red. Now, your question.
Did you say haidu is blood or damun is blood?
Al-haidu damun. Haid is blood. We are defining haid.
It is blood.
Al-haidu haidu, that we say is blood. Now, so when we say blood, what do we mean? We know it as blood, but here is trying to identify it as the red one that we see. Kharijun. Kharijun, that is discharged. Meaning that, I feel like closing this program. Let's try to close it and see if it's better. Because it just keeps freezing. Haidun, al-haidu, damun, kharijun. Bima'na kharijun. Kharijun means, I'm not used to it. Kharijun means that is coming out, that is being discharged. Something, because this book is written as poetry, some things are not said, it's not like prose. Kharijun bimana binafsihi, that comes out by itself. That comes out by itself. So what do we mean by it comes out by itself? If someone is a lady, so to say, is bleeding, and the bleeding is due to internal injury, do we say it is haid? No. A lady is bleeding, and the bleeding is due to childbirth. Do we say it's haid? No. A lady is bleeding, and this is very important, because she is taking some pills, maybe contraceptive or something. Do we say it's haid? No. A lady is bleeding due to one kind of sickness or an internal organ got destroyed or something. It is not haid. So there can be different bloods. That is, blood does not have period. Sorry for that. There can be different kind of blood that can be discharged, and it will continue in the definition. But haid is specific, and that's where we're trying to go very specific here. I'll leave the next word. I will come back to it. Min qubuli. To write it appropriately, it should be qubuli. Qubli. Arabs are very shy when they try to describe parts of the body that are private area. The private genital of a woman, the frontal one, is what we mean by al-qubul, and it can also be used for a male. So qubul can be close to the word qibla, the one that is facing out. So that's not the official name, so to say. The official name will be farj, but qubul means that part of a private area that is from the front. Meaning that, min qubulin, meaning that if someone, I'll give two scenarios, has for one reason or the other, frontal part of a private area is blocked, maybe surgery, maybe accident, maybe stitch or something, and for example, catheter or something has to be passed through the person and the person bleeds from rear through a pipe or something, it won't be regarded as height. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm only trying to make us understand. So if for any reason someone is bleeding through the anus, even if it coincides with the time of height, that bleeding will still not be regarded as height. So min qubulin, we have spoken about the color, which is the physical attribute. We have spoken about the place. Now we want to talk about who. Before I come back to this, is the second physical attribute, and this is the third physical attribute. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to come back to that. Of someone who has the capability to conceive. Of someone who has the capability to what? To conceive. Who? Man is who? Or hamala is to get pregnant or to carry something. Literally. Hamala is to carry. Mra'atun, woman who is carrying a pregnant woman. So man tahmilu, that person who can conceive. Adatan, customarily. What does adatan mean here? It means that we have to look at the custom. We have to look at the environment. Maybe in Saudi Arabia, ladies get to the age of puberty at one age. Maybe in Canada, it's different. So it has to do with the ada, with the custom, which is very important. Biological cycle. So the ulama say that what? We'll negate one or two, three things. We'll negate, let's manage our time. So this removes, if I say man tahmilu adatan, anyway, this removes someone who has not reached this age, and this also removes someone who is past the age. Meaning, if you have a lady, they give example usually in their own time, that is 9 years, that is younger than 9 years, that's the standard, anyway, at that place. I don't know what it is in Canada or other places. Younger than 9 would say, customarily, she wouldn't be menstruating. Above 70, finally it's back. She won't be menstruating. So that's that. I don't know what the problem is. Let's see. The ulama say that if we have someone who is above 70, no problem. You are not even thinking of them having height. If you have someone between 50 to 70 that has a probability, then what do? You have to ask the women in that area. Is it normal? If you have a girl that is between 9 and 13, you have to ask. But at least it's very rare that a lady is 13 years and above and she has not started menstruating. All this is what we have in the books. In our areas, we need to know, right? We assume that a girl between 9 and 13 should be. To verify, we need to verify. Between 50 and 70, you need to verify. So that's just like that. So to get it clear, al-haidu, I want to reiterate that al-haid is damun, is the blood, which is usually red. Kakuderatin, coming back to that line. Sometimes it may not be red, it may be like dark brown. Kudra is, assume you mix black and red. What will it give you? That's
Dark.
like dark. Maybe it's a lot of impurity is in it, is heavy, laden, dark. So it can be like that. Someone is saying, oh, maybe a daughter, maybe something like that. Because, and I said, men should pay attention to this verb. What I used to see before is red, but what I'm saying now, yeah. If it's that, like a darker shade, and it can be very, very dark shade of red, also, it is height. Kasufratin. Also, it can be very light, that it will get close to something like orange or even yellowish, depending on some of the changes that are happening in the body system. Sometimes maybe it's mixed with other things, but in between that. So the ulama will say it can be red, it can be dark, and it can be orange close to yellow. So it's something that is to be noted. We have said in that line, 1, the color, the physical appearance. Number 2, where is it discharged? Number 3, from who? And this is why it says, Babu bayanil height, the bayan, the explanation, what is height? Is it possible that in some climes, a girl of 6 will have height? It's possible, but it's not, it's very uncommon. It's very uncommon. There can be physical changes in a girl of 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or even 9, and the girl may not be menstruating. So, is it at the first sign of puberty that we say a girl is having height? No, it has to be that discharge. And it's not the very first time. So that's important. The second line says, aqalluhu. In other madhab is different. We have aqallu muddatil hayd wa aktharu muddatil hayd. What does this mean? What's the minimum number of, or I don't want to say number. What's the minimum time that discharge can take and we'll say it is height? And what's the maximum time frame that discharge can come and we say it is still height? In the madhab of Imam Malik, it says, aqalluhu, the least that we can say it is height is dafa'atan, is 1 discharge. What do I mean? A lady that has reached the age of puberty experiences maybe just 1 flow, maybe within 30 minutes or within 1 hour, it is still height, even if it's less than a day, even if it's less than half a day. In some other madhab, they will say a minimum is 1 day. What does it mean by implication? I wake up in the morning, I saw my flow, and the flow stopped. No more flow from morning, and it's like that. Usually it has a cycle, and a woman and a lady can predict. But if it comes like that, maybe just 1 flow in the morning, it means the person has to pray salah, observe salah to zuhr. If it doesn't come more than that. In other madhab, she has to take the whole day off. But in the madhab of Imam Malik, it is different. So aqalluhu dafa'atu. Dafa is one when it gushes out once. Dafa. He now puts a caveat there. La fil idda. The same count of height, number of height, will be used when a woman is in idda. What does idda mean? Idda can be idda to talaq or idda to wafa. Idda to talaq is when a woman experiences this English is not coming. Divorce. Either she divorces the husband or the husband divorces her. Wal-'iyadhu billah. She has to make idda, the waiting period. So in idda of a woman, if a woman is observing idda, the least that she can say, okay, I've made 1 cycle is 1 day. She has to wait 1 complete day. So in all other cases, 1 dafa, 1 gush of discharge is enough. But in idda, she has to wait at least 1 day. The issue is a bit more complex. Why? In idda, we are saying, is it, and right from the time of the Sahaba, this argument has been like that. Salata to Quru, 3 cycles. Is it when she experiences the bleeding? Does she count from when she experiences the bleeding? Or she counts from when the bleeding ends? That's the issue. So, meaning that I've made 1 idda, and the 2nd idda, and the 3rd idda that she's going to make, the 3rd cycle. Is it when, okay, I'm now free, when I experience the third cycle, or I'm now free at the end of the completion of one cycle. This is not the bab for that. So this is where the argument comes. So to go off the argument, to be for clarity, in the madhab of Imam Malik, in idda, when a woman is counting her idda, a gush of discharge is not enough. She has to wait at least 1 day to confirm that she's actually in a menses. Aqalluhu dafa, the least period to say, okay, now I have my height is 1 discharge, except in where? In idda. Wa nisfu shahrin, half of a month, nisfu shahr, half of a month, fihi aqsal mudda is the maximum. Meaning that if a lady has a height for more than 15 days, the 16th day is not regarded as height. It's regarded as
Shahrin.
shahr, is, yeah, like we say shahru Ramadan. Wa nisfu shahrin, that's it's like mudaf or mudaf ilayh grammatically. Nisfu shahrin, sabilillahi. The first one will take Dhamma and the second word will have kasra. Nisfu shahrin, the half of a month, will be the aqsa, the farthest of that mudda, time limit. Meaning that the maximum a lady can have a height in the mazhab of Imam Malik is 15 days. Anything after 15 days, the 16th day is regarded as al-istihada. The rule of istihada will come back there, but to say it summarily, she will clean up and she will start praying. And even if she's still bleeding, what does she do? She makes wudu for every salah. We'll come there later. So the minimum is 1 gush of discharge and the maximum is 15 days. فإن تمادى الدم فوق العادة استظهرت ثلاثة معتادة. This is a long topic and our time is up. But what is he saying here? A point of note is al-aada. Every woman has a aada, custom. She will know, maybe it comes for 6 days. It comes for 7 days. It comes for 10 days. It's not permanent in her as she grows. She can say, okay, when I was like 15 years old, it used to come like this. Maybe with progression, maybe with childbirth, but the cycle will change. But usually, the summary of what he's saying here in our mazhab, how do you now know if there's fluctuation or change between the last cycle or the last known, this is the way we say it, the last known greatest number of days? Because sometimes it can reduce. If there's a change now, we'll come to this mas'ala in the next class extensively. She has to put istizhar. He's saying, istazharat salatha. He will not take 3 days. And so, okay, before it used to come for 7 days. But after 7 days, this thing is not stopping. She'll count 8 day wait, 9 day wait, 10th day wait. Then after that 10th day, she will perform a ghusl, clean up, be praying, even if the blood continues. We'll come there extensively. We don't believe that this time, the difference between a cycle and another cycle, if there is fluctuation, can be more than 3 days. I'm saying all this because when you get to medical explanation, the medical explanation can be way, way different. And we don't reckon with what medicine is saying. And we are serious about this. Medical people can say, well, it's because of something that is happening in the system. If you look at inside, we have said that kharijun, if the blood does not come out, we reckon with what comes out. You are not required to go to a laboratory to figure it out. Ad-dinu yusr. Deen is easy. Don't tell me one medical condition. No. Islam is talking to the peasant, the farmer, the trader, someone who has not gone to school. It's whatever is apparent that we reckon with. And this is very important. Okay? Yeah. That's why I say we pay attention in this topic. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this congregation, to help us. Come with your children. If they're old enough, come with your wife, come with your sister. Let's learn this together. And I've told you at the beginning, before we went on break, that gather the questions. There are going to be a lot of questions. Subhanallah, in the classes that we used to do before, There's something we call social responsibility. I wanted to take this class and say free class for people, maybe in our own bigger community here, to say, okay, let's discuss this topic. But if I say I want to discuss this topic and I say I have a 2-hour session, how many people will wait? Is that, and people will say we are busy, and I won't teach it halfway. I won't definitely. It's suicide to teach this topic halfway. If it requires 3 hours, it's about your deen. Then someone is saying, I don't have time. I need to. It's not a class that you pop in, pop out. Because even if you're in the class, sometimes you're not even getting it. Especially if you're a male, that you're not even used to it. It's easier for females to like, and they will usually have questions. So, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yubarik fina wa fil jamia. Usually in some other texts, they will categorize women into 3. The person who was just starting, the someone who is in the middle, and someone who is unstable. Like, but we'll go there inshallah. No questions today. Reserve your questions or just type them in the group chat so that when we lay all the foundations and it's clear, then we can now. Some of the questions are going to be answered within the classes. I pray that Allah Ta'ala gives me leave. There's a diagram that we used to use. I will bring that from another note that has like a chart that can help with this istizhar, and it's like scenario based. And may Allah bless Sheikh Naif. He's the one who made that PDF for us, and it's so easy to understand.
آمين.
هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.